Welcome back. SQL joins are the gateway to data insights and some of the most misunderstood things that we encounter. If you've ever felt lost trying to explain the difference between a left join and an inner join, or wondered why your results doubled all of a sudden, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down SQL joins with clear examples, real-world application, and some common pitfalls that I myself encountered early on in my career. So stick with me to the end for a very special bonus where I'm going to cover some very specific interview questions and some expert tips on how to answer them to ace your next data engineering interview. So, if you're a beginner, you might be asking yourself, what are SQL joins and why do I need them? Well, SQL joins allow us to combine data from multiple different tables all in one view or query. Think of them like bridges that connect tables so that we can see the full picture. For example, you might be looking at a table called dim customer, which is your customer dimension, and a fact table called fact internet sales that you need to join on that customer ID between the two tables so that you could get the full picture. So being able to join those tables helps you to answer questions like which customers placed an order this month and which customers didn't. Also, who hasn't ordered anything at all yet? Maybe they signed up and they haven't ordered anything at all yet. So combining these two tables, really helps you with your customer demographics, merging your inventory levels with supplier details maybe, and analyzing employee performance with department data. So those are some additional examples that you might use in real world scenarios. Next, we're going to go over the different types of SQL joins and how to explain them simply during your interview. Today we're going to break down 4 of the most common types of joins with some practical examples, again, from that AdventureWorks Data Warehouse 2022. The link is down in the description of the video. Go out, download it, make sure that you have SQL Server or SQL Server Express installed on your computer, get it up and running so that you could follow along and make your own adjustments and kind of play with these queries as we go through them. Check that out if you're interested in downloading that. All right, we're going to start with inner joins. So what is an inner join? An inner join really combines the rows that have a matching value in both the tables. This is especially useful when you want to really focus on data that exists in both data sets, like finding customers that have placed orders, right? With an inner join, if that value is not in both tables, you're going to lose that data. So for example, if there is a customer key that is in the internet sales table, fact table, that is not in that customer table, which is not likely, right? But it could happen, then those internet sales records are not going to show up in your result using an inner join. So let's take a look at this particular query. We have our normal keywords, select from, right? Those are going to be really basic in almost every query that you write. You're selecting specific fields from, in this case, our customer dimension, and we are going to do a inner join, again, where the rows match on that fact internet sales table. In addition, the on keyword comes next. And so we're saying we're going to join the fact internet sales table with the customer dimension on that customer key. We're going to run this and we're going to see the result. Again, we have our internet sales order number, our internet order date, and then the first and last name of our customers. We wouldn't have the first and last name of our customers if we did not do this join. So that's the advantage that we're getting by doing this join. So we're pulling in that first and last name of our customer. Now let's take a look. We're going to do C dot asterisk. And what that's going to do is it's going to pull all of the fields from that customer table. So we may have some additional information about those customers in that other table that we may want to include. And this is good for when you're doing EDA, right? When you're doing exploratory data analysis and trying to figure out what you need in specific queries, things like that. Email address might be something that you really want to include, or even their yearly income. Again, we have a ton of information here. This is common to have in a customer table. All right, so I don't really care about a lot of this stuff, but say we want to actually add that email address. Maybe we won't want to create some type of mailing list based on their sale, and maybe we want to check in on them. So we want to provide sales with their email address. So we're going to just add email address, c.email address, because we don't want to add all this other stuff. Just not good behavior. So you'll see that the email address popped in. Again, this is great if we want to go out and send some type of email campaign, checking in on their internet sale, make sure that the things are running right. You could even do things like maybe join this table to who the salesperson that sold them that service, and then provide that salesperson with a list of email addresses for their customers that purchased internet in the last week, in the last month, whatever the case may be, so that they could check in on those customers and just check up, make sure everything's doing well. So great customer service, right? And very real world example. So those are inner joins. If you have questions, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions about any of these joins as we go through the video, feel free to pause it and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. And I do respond generally to those questions within 24 hours, sometimes oftentimes a whole lot quicker. All right, what's next? Left joins. Left joins are something that you are going to use all the time as an analyst, as an engineer. Sometimes you need information if it exists in the other table. So in this case, we're going to, again, use the customer dimension and the fact internet sales table, and we're going to, again, join on that customer key. Now, here's the difference with a left join. A left join is going to give us everything, all of the customers that are in that customer table, and it's going to give us the internet sales information if it exists. So if a customer hasn't purchased internet sales, then they're going to show up in this query where they wouldn't have shown up in the previous query. The only difference is going to be that for a left join, there's not going to, if there's no internet sale, then there's not going to be a sales order number and an order date, right? So just wanted to be able to show you that we do have both the customers that did not purchase any internet, as well as the customers that did purchase internet, along with their order dates. So again, great opportunity to get that out there. You know, you could add the email address in there. You know, another great use case here, you know, especially if you're filtering for customers that maybe didn't purchase internet sales, you know, drop in the email address, let those salespeople go out there and contact those customers, reach out and say, hey, we have great opportunities with internet sales. Love for you to come in and talk to me. So there's some opportunities there, some real world examples, and let's move right on. The next one is the right join. So right join is very similar to left join. Honestly, right joins, and you will see memes about this. You will see posts about this. If I could find it, I'll throw one up right here. Right joins are just not used real often, but important to understand exactly what they are. For right join, you're getting everything from the other table. So the concept is that from a left join, you're getting everything from the left table and what matches from the right table. In the right join, you're getting the reverse. So in this case, we're going to get everything, every customer that has a internet sale and their associated information if they have it in the customer table. Now again, very rarely are you going to find examples where a customer is not in a customer table but is in some type of sales table, because generally the customer has to be in the customer table in order to show up in the sales table. So we're not going to have a whole lot of any of these, right? Unless I go out there and create some sales orders that don't have customers, which again wouldn't make sense in real world scenario. You really wouldn't see that real often. again, right joins are just something that you're not going to use a whole lot. Let's move on to a full outer join. So again, full outer joins, also not something that you're going to use real often. It is going to provide you a result called a Cartesian result. And so we're going to run this. I'm going to show you real quick. It's probably going to run for about ever because there are a ton of customers in this particular data warehouse and a ton of internet sales orders. Scroll all the way down to the end. Oh, it didn't run forever. All right, let's go over what a full outer join is. So full outer joins, they combine all the rows from both tables with the nulls where there's no match. So for example, if we have customers that don't have internet sales, then the customer information will be there, but obviously the internet sales won't. Also, if there are internet sales that don't have customers, those records show up as well. So again, this is a great option if you want everything from both tables without any duplicates, regardless of whether or not they're in both tables. So again, we're going to see in here, it's actually going to look very similar to the left join where we have our three customers that don't have any internet sales. And again, if we had any internet sales that didn't have customers, which is very unlikely in any of the scenarios, unless you have some data cleansing that needs to do or data integrity issues that do come up, this would be a good check for things like that. Practical examples of different ways that you could do them. Again, I gave you some very specific types of use cases that you could use for these various inner joins and outer joins. All right, next we're going to jump into some exciting interview questions that you're going to want to be sure to save and bookmark for when you are ready to walk into your interview so that you could review them really quickly before you jump in, because these will likely be questions that show up, especially in your beginner entry-level data engineering and data analysis roles. Let's jump in. All right, let's tackle just a few of these interview questions to really test your understanding. Hopefully you've been following along with your own AdventureWorks database, data warehouse that you've installed on your local computer and have a good firm grasp on joins. Try writing a query if you haven't yet, again, using a full outer join to find those unmatched rows between two tables, and share your query down in the comments. Let me know what that looks like. I'd love to hear from you and see what you've come up with. Again, be sure to save and favorite this section. You're really going to want to come back to this when you're getting ready to walk into your interview. Let's jump in. What is the difference between a inner join and a right join? Now, this is an answer that I want you to put down in the comments, and I'm going to give you feedback on how you answer it. How would you answer it in an interview? Go ahead and pause and do that. All right. Hopefully you did that. I'll be sure to provide feedback. An inner join only returns rows when the matched values are in both tables. A left join returns all the rows from the left table and the matches from the right table, right? Our next question, how can you avoid duplicate rows in a join? Again, go ahead and put your answer down in the comments, and I'll be sure to provide feedback on your wording on your answer. All right, so the answer for this one, use the distinct keyword to ensure that you have unique rows and records in your query result. Alternatively, what you really want to do here is ensure that your on clause includes all of the conditions that you need to uniquely match the records between the two tables so that you don't encounter any duplicates. All right, hopefully you got that one right as well. So, question number 3, when would you use a full outer join? Again, just like the other two, go ahead and put your answer down in the comments. I'll give you just a moment. Go ahead and pause. All right, so use a full outer join when you need all of the rows from both tables, including the unmatched rows. And this way you get a complete view of the data. Just like our internet sales example, you would get all of the customers regardless of whether or not they've ordered any internet, and you get all the internet orders regardless of whether or not they show up in that customers table. Hopefully you don't have it that latter part, but if you do, then that indicates an issue and you go out and resolve it. All right, question number 4. How do you handle nulls and joins? Again, we're going to pause. Go ahead and provide that answer in the comments down below. And again, I will provide that feedback. Are you ready? Here's the answer. So the way that you could handle nulls, you can use coalesce. So the other way that you could filter them out using your where criteria, right? You could say where whatever the column name is not null, and that will remove those nulls from that query. So those are some questions that you will likely get, that you will likely come up in your data engineering and data analysis interviews. Be sure that you have bookmarked and liked this video so that you come back and review those. SQL joins are really a critical skill that you have to have and have a firm grasp, whether you are going into data engineering or data analysis, and mastering them is really what's going to unlock your career. You're just not going to be able to, if you can't effectively explain them, you're not going to get a position. So mastering them will unlock your ability to get a career and to analyze and enhance data in powerful ways. So if you're a business owner and you want to, use these skills, be sure that you go back and review the SQL statements that we did. Go out to the website and download the specific SQL script, and you could go out and play with it on your own if you've downloaded that AdventureWorks data warehouse to your own computer. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. I am so excited that we are continuing to grow as a community. We have a Discord channel. We have our community here on YouTube, and I am excited to see it continue to grow. Be sure to join us on Friday evenings for our data live chats. They're on Friday evenings at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. Eastern Time. So be sure to join me then, where I answer any career questions, any SQL or Python questions that you may have, including questions about maybe some tools that are out there. So I will see you then, and have a great week.